Chapter 14, Train Up a Child. When Yaniv returned home after 3 weeks and was met with open arms. How was your vacation, sighed Doug. When Yaniv thought about it, he never considered it a vacation, but yes it was. It was beautiful, and look. We brought back souvenirs. Pointing to furball in this. Hines. Jim smelled Jella. Jella just smelled white. The following year, the puppies grew and started having pups. They moved with them to a section where they could feed off the land where no one wanted to live. Rattlesnakes, Gila monsters, prairie dogs, quails, gibbons, geodes, beyond sheep, and jackrabbits were plentiful for them. Gila and I trained their hyenas in their modular forms and slowly created a battalion of their own, composed of men, women, and children. War had gifts accordingly. When Yaniv was walk around the house in his duty as a council member and commander-in-chief put great demands on him. Spending time with Quinn seemed possible, so he instructed the eldest children taught yet his youngest so he could spend time with Quinn. Jill and Danny were happy with the idea and began as soon as possible. At the same time, when Yaniv enjoyed Quinn because she, too, was frustrated with the idea of them not seeing each other. They both started acting like high school sweethearts, and they endured on saw it when Yaniv word poor real love to her, lock and key. You have to lock, you have the key. Lock and key. You hope it'll think you can unlock your heart. And you have the key to my destiny. Lock and key. It had no love before, but for some reason, it took your heart to open the door. Lock and key. Everything you ever wanted, you won't settle for a few missing pieces. You have it all. Now, you don't want to settle for less, like you did the rest. Lock and key. Hey what, me Quinn. Insight into a brief story. In the days of old, let the truth be told. How the men treated their women, especially from the times of Sodom and Gomorrah, up until the Roman era. Women, a lot were afraid to look upon a mirror. Reason. Men fell in love with men. No, they did care for them. Women were only used to bear children, cook, clean, no power, no words they formed were of any good. Never heard. Yes, that was the norm back then. Men. They were looking for the touch of another man. The seconds me saw, let the truth be told. Until the useless reformed woman fell in love with other woman, a perverted state for the human race. Now, many ask me why do I cry? Trying to defend the state of this woman. I reply, with honesty me. I'm only half a being. In order to do whole, I need someone to comfort myself, a woman. A woman is the only thing for me, to be complete, truly made whole. Growing up, I met lust and love. Love was the only form. Can't you see? We, as men have bitten the hand of the untethered dear toes. We argue, fuss and fight. Now, all we got right is per hell. Cars of the men in their past did the same. Blame all, because of fun. I can't do anything with another man. That will not comfort me so. No man can make me whole. The touch of a woman is all I need. Me heart bleed for that need. Homosexuality is rampant. Yes, heavy into sin. That's for him, not for me. All I need is me Quinn. He would, single-parent household. You was told before he got old, that there are 4 types of woman. First, and on top. A woman. Then there's a lady. You have your betas. And lastly, them hoes. We would lose more than half this house, if we did rid of single-parent households. Let me explain before you put dirt on my name. There's a lot of things you just won't understand living in a single-parent household. Single-parent is as English as it can. Some are lying. Many are dying. What to believe? What do we medically believe? That person you see on a daily basis. Tell you his faults, but won't confess to their deceit, their betrayal. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes the truth comes out later, and makes you blue. Betrayed by the liar, betrayed by mama. Her words if how it were true, to you. So, you hate that man. You're fatter. But he did the best he could and the only things he can. She went more in became to her. Why? Ik cray. Why? Because he can. This story made only before black folks living in this land. This is not all, but it's for more than a few. Wodo do. Let me get back to the classifications at hand. Just found out many women like to classify themselves just as bitches. And if ain't no more. They say it's only on. There can't be no fun. Here's my definition of a woman. Understanding the situation and act accordingly. No nagging. No complaining, get the job done, because it affects the family. It affects you and me. Our family. Then there's a lady. She's young. Single. And looking for a perfect candidate, says feminine, friendly, but be aware of the bitches. He bitch, a snit, his motherfucker got more strength, and got control over all the men. Signals the game in says playing chess or checkers. So, you'll say no more. And lastly, the hoe. Simple. Anything goes. This set comes from myself. This set calls single parent household. Look at it, it's listed in your text. Another readers for set we be doing. Murder, rape, carjacking. Logging at my can't. May people. You'll say this a few more times and you will never hear it again in my rhymes. In my rhymes. Those of us who live in a parent household and those of us who live in a single parent household can't. Won't understand. If the single parent is a mother, it depends on Takum. Is she a hard worker? Both was raising the kids. The stress. If she works from home when wealthy boys tell his mother, I'm grown and now he's gone. If she's a hoe and she's a hoe. Food kitty can't say more. Not true for everyone, but the number is large. Kazimon. Then you got honest, and it is called befin. Who has against the red heart, and it's at nega gun. Like a rat son. But you're not masculine. Different variations, of different situations but then third parent household. Less chas. Didn't say none. You said less. There is some kind of structure. Morals and yeah, we to act. And in front is amongst us. Don't get me wrong. There's holes in that fold. Let me end. More positive and understanding come from a parent household. And it's sanctioned by God. So, you know you will go far. But just an imprudentity. Come out of a single parent household. You've been told. Forewarned. It has been sown. Look round and see how we're living, how we're doing. Chas and false. In a single parent household. Hey word, yourself speaks as men. It's amazing. How can't we think the same? Even Calvin has holy name. Morals and understanding are even the same. But wait about our feelings like David and his with Sheba. The right and ones we have done. Yet no life gets you, but a few cactus lives close. Of what you can and can't do. Wisdom doesn't always come with age. It comes with trials and tribulations. Not everyone knows the same. But what you feel, we feel the same, about God. You help him and you can be a son. You are so wonderful, Tom. You happy you can always be men. Tell you things sick now, in it todo. Maybe tell you some things in it todo before we can join to be a son. This is not a joke, not a game, or even a lie. Jans was lost, but now have been found. You are definitely one of a kind. And if you said your soul. Speaks as man. Hey word, 3 reasons. You have a heart of gold. You are bold. You speak your mind and still can't. Supportive, considerate. Self-appreciation. A loving mother. This is what he noticed, not something you was told. Down to earth and cool. No man can ask for much more. It makes me heart sore, try cattle for seasons. You asked, why do I love you so much? Her, baby. Her, loyalty reasons. Hey what, between your taste. When you look into each other's eyes, and you kiss then you miss. Emotions flows, emotions go. But wait. No one kisses anymore, wait. They just want to get between the face, and still don't look into each other's eyes. It cray. There's no surprise, wait we all have between our eyes. It's a work of art, invented by God, for God. Not to hurt, and do dirt. Many of us, we act as if it's a sin to love. Being love, make love. Say or love. True. Till you're some robust toward love, you myself can't abuse it, can't misuse it. But in the long run, they were hurt by love, but their love just might have been lost. Why? For their soullessness. It used they were confused about the meaning of the word they call found, was nothing more than lust. It's just the opposite of love, believe me, there is a difference. Lesson. To take someone's heart just to get between the legs. To make money, to JV, or to get money just to get between the face. To deceive in order to receive the precious jewels. The precious gift between the days. Male or female. It's one. That's why you sing that song, you sing. Knowing many don't believe in love anymore, and lust has taken over. Many die, between the days, by diseases and from on high. You can hear many feel, no saying. He's just a fool, think his call, wording this mess, with his mid in the gutter. You're one, art is just hate. Art, and love is just hate. Love. It's how you perceive a particular piece of artwork. What is lovely to others, is trash to another. The same technique taken between the face. Question. What if there was nothing between the face? What will be your course of action? Reaction to one another. You'll wait for your reply. And he also wrote, African Queen. Mon ladies. German chocolate skin. Laps of an African Queen. This is not lay. Your beauty just made basin. Better it the most perfect thing you've ever seen. Yes, the perfect blend. Hard, but gentle. Man, but kind. How it feels so comfortable when you're on my mind. So relaxing, so smooth, like a raindrop falling into morning dew. Yes, this is you. Beautiful, beautiful, what, so beautiful tone. Tell me freaking Queen, what my dreams? Jill was excited to teach her siblings because she loved history like her father, and then I loved the arts. They both out their siblings until they discovered what they loved, and, like a domino effect, when each viewed Queen's children became very popular for their wisdom as well. And I was convinced that there wasn't any such thing as music in recent tight about some greats. Like Miles Davis, Grover was in danger, and Chester Arthur Bonnet, better known by his stay name Holland Wolf. She even tired about some of the amazing athletes he emerged. Joe Gens became a great lightweight boxer fought him back in and she's at a metal when he defeated the former world welterweight champion, Eddie Connolly. He also was the first African American world leader in a sport as a Heartland champion reigning during the Jim Crow era. He endured physical assaults, a stolen title, bankruptcy, and many attempts to destroy his reputation. Then he was originally named Major Taylor, a young white man who wanted to compete in tackling, the Netherlands' most popular sport that was mostly played and dominated by white men. But Mo Taylor became the fastest man in the world during his time. 12 years before boxer Jack Johnson and 50 years before baseball player Jackie Robinson, Taylor fought races met nearly every turn, especially by whites who feared the world discovered their stereotypes of Waterlands. Jill was passionate and somewhat dramatic when she died 20 years before the blood murder. 14-year-old Metal was brutally killed in the same way in Prentice, Maryland. Jill asked as she looked at her brothers and sisters. Anna raised her hands. Not you, Anna. See why their fuscans. Anion. Frustrated, she sighed. Get out your pass, now. Every impulse out their pass as Jill looked on. This don't make any sense. Julia Maud, a 23-year-old Waterlin, was dragged from a cell, stabbed, and then lynched in a tree before some 2,000 white folks. Afterward, he was plowed down, burnt, and his charred body was dragged through the town with his body parts thrown towards the quarters of the Waterlins. For wait. He. Making gestures with her hands as she continued, allegedly, a cell the 17-year-old white woman named Mordenstern was some ways upon him. Mordenstern said she was walking down the road when Amharic assaulted her. He was then taken to Salisbury jail, Missouri for Prentice, to avoid mob justice because there had been a lynching years before of another white named Meta Williams. The local pursuer Somerset County Judge Robert Durant State Attorney John Robbins still returned Amharic. Eventually, the governor, Albert Ritchie, stepped in, and they returned Amharic to Somerset County, placed into jail's second floor with all the other White prisoners. A crowd quickly assembled with battering rams and breaking the jail's doors. An 18-year-old boy immediately cut off his ear with a butcher knife. The growling mob beat Amharic nearly to death, dragged him to Ori, and hanged him. Afterward, the mob cut down his corpse, dragged it round the streets, hanged it again, and staged a public burning. On Whiteman's side, and the court, it would have cost the state $1,000 to hang the man. It cost us $0.07. This sparked a national outcry and called for the prosecution of the culprits, yet investigations at the county, state, and federal levels faced obstacles and delays. When presented with identifying evidence, the county prosecutor refused to act. After the Maryland Attorney General ordered the arrest of 8 people, with residents who supported the alleged killer's private patriots. And a jury ultimately found him not guilty. For Whitelines, this period had been both a period of greatness and doom. World War I and the Civil War were dangerous. Both in particular event happened during this time, but it took 100 years after the event for anyone to hear about what happened. In the summer of 1919, hundreds of Wakadalian were burned alive, shot, lynched, and beaten to death by white mobs. Thousands saw their homes and businesses burned to the ground and were driven out, many never to return. It was called Red Summer because of the bloodshed and amounted to some of the worst white and black violence in US history. Beyond the lives and family fortunes lost, it had far-reaching repercussions, contributing to generations of black distrust toward authority. It prompted blacks to defend themselves and their neighborhoods with fists and guns. Revitalized civil rights organizations like the NACP inspired black journalists to do courageous reporting and influenced subsequent leaders who all fighting for racial equality. Sage Matthew, a history professor, on the side, the people who were the icons of the civil rights movement were raised by a people who survived Red Summer, for history books in it must misunderstand technology it, for it converted the post-World War era notion that America was making the world safe for democracy. Over 250 blacks were killed, and at least 20 favorites by white mobs that never faced punishment within 10 months. Historian John Hoppy Franklin called it the greatest period of interracial strife the nation has ever witnessed. Many say the Whitelines who were returning from World War started at all, for they were expecting the same rights they fought for and bled for in Europe. Whitelines were moving north to escape the brutal Jim Crow laws of the South, but with South as competition for jobs, homes, and political power. Ethnic cleansing was the goal of the White readers, said William Tuttle, Ardent professor of American Studies and author of Record, Sheheyu and the Red Summer of 1919. He sighed, and the court, they ran to tackle as many black people as possible and terrorize the rest until they were willing to live and love someplace else. The violence didn't start nor did it end in 1919. Some countries summers are as beginning with the deaths of over 2,000 Whitelines in East St. Louis, Missouri, in 1919 and extending through the Missouri massacre. At least 1,122 Americans were killed in racial violence over 6 years. In 1919 alone, violence erupted in places like New York, Memphis, Tennessee, and Philadelphia, just to name a few. In Washington, Dick, Awit Milk, primarily war veterans, Rimpite over to Wicked of Julia Slazeting, Haya Hulet, being in Wiggle and take offend after false remorse of a white woman being assaulted by black men spread. The leaders beat a Waterlin with cloves and stones were put in handkerchiefs laying into straight for. Over 20 minutes before being taken to the hospital. Since any failure of the police, Timma became even more conductors of authority, and two more Waterlins were attacked and beaten directly in front of the White House. Carter Wilson, the historian who founded Black History Month and she's at aim to high sadist, saw the violence up close. Paul Waddell and Sir Corporation Lane, Arkansas, were beaten and killed after Theodore to Journal Labyrinth. Waddell and journalist Edab Wells noted that they dragged Little Black from her farm after saying she walked John Tannen. They knocked her down, beat her over the head with their pistols, kicked her, almost killed her, then took her to jail. Wells wrote in her report, the Arkansas Patriot. The same mob went to Frank Hall's house and killed Frances Howell, a cry old woman housekeeper, tied her clothes over her head, and threw her body into the road where it lay deposited all the soldiers came and took it up. Waddell and journalists like Wells played in a sigil role in getting these stories out. Kevin Strait, a curator at the Smithsonian National Museum. Of African American history and culture, wrote, black newspapers like the Chicago Defender helped to provide an alternative voice that represented why African Americans deserved to be here, deserved equal rights, and was sometimes justified in fighting. Read summer marked annual of black resisting toward injustice, with African Americans standing up in unprecedented numbers and killing some of their tormentors. Again, the returning white and soldiers from World War II left the charge, using skills they refined in Europe. The Germans weren't the enemy. The enemy was Rachel Ham, said Harry Hayward in his autobiography, a black communist in the freedom struggle. To live with Harry Hayward. In Washington, Carrie Johnson, Asra Sabat, became a hero for shouting at white invaders in her neighborhood. She fatally shot a white policeman who broke into her second-story bedroom. She claimed self-defense, and her manslaughter conviction was overturned. The act gained about 100,000 members that year. Some Wagadolins were going to Congress pressing congressional representatives and senators to pass lynching legislation. They fought back in the courts, filing lawsuits when people were being mistreated or railroaded. The lessons of Red Summer will be relived all over again after World War II. Many of them will overhear the stories of what happened in and she's at aim to Asrazatin, and they said, never again. Jella got mad at the box again for he didn't seem interested in anything society has stirred into space. She said, little boy, tell me so then you have learned what you not behave itself. You get your head up in space, and in praying taught it you so then. Cement your the box again stood up, James Wanley Jones, Jella sighed. Wait about him. A box in backed his hand. Shook his head, hello. The first black special agent Fort of being and she's at aim to Asrazating. He was a cop in Washington, Dick. But he left to join Terry during World War I, where he was trained as an officer and as the captain of Company 56 Motosussasement Infantry, that Anahuletan Division with his brother. Company 56 Motosussasement Infantry, that Anahuletan Division, was one of many segregated vital in focus in the army. They were sent to European fight in France, near the Belgium and German borders. After the war ended, Jones returned to Washington and was promoted as a special agent in the Inland Division, created in response to the worst bombings. No one knew anything about him, not even at a local experience, until and 2 years later, in Huletshia Asrazating. Hundreds of Waterlin special agents have followed in his footsteps, including the first female Waterlin, Sylvia Mattis, who joined the special agent ranks in and she's at aim to Savasdist. In February Huletshi Asrazating, Tef Behenord Jones and the countless others that followed him in their pursuit to serve the American people as the special agents. Tayimi launched a year-long initiative to commemorate and 2-year history of Waterlin special agents survey that have been the United States for a coordinated campaign called Our History, Our Service. Iboxim passed, how about Lada Hiquino, also known as Gustav Svassa, who was an African in London, a freed slave, who supported the British movement to end the slave trade. Jell stopped him. You proved your point, you may sit down. Boxing fuck his head? No, you're always talking about it, don't listen. The word directly begins a sacred word in Africa, picked up by the Portuguese during the beginning of the slave trade on the banks of the sacred river, Niger. They couldn't pronounce the word in their native tongue, so they corrupted it, Niger, from which we get the word Niger, which means black light of God, and Niger, a common British name, means black God because black humans were believed to be the epitome of the divine before the slave trade. Because before the Asram's century, all images of all goods or God himself were black. All of this is documented. Black not because of politics but because dark pigment from melanin, the mold-coated products from solar rays and products dark skin, is vital in a world that loves by the sun. And him to the field calling me, low boy. And I say to him, was, the youngest in the family. Eboxian said, me. Jill said, are you a Jill or a boy? Eboxian said, a boy. Jill and I say to her, little boy, as Jill continued, now, sit down, little boy. One unique was children grew and enjoyed their particular subjects and tangent strolls within the communities. Palace fell in love with the sciences, Kamazu enjoyed engineering, Masada with mathematics, and Sebeka with music like Inea. Tanisu enjoyed animals like Jala, Milja with medical and health, and the boxing was nonchalant about everything he was not interested in. Any particular subject and just went to school because he was told when Nikiva was concerned about what his teachers were saying in some of the comments he heard about the boxing and not being interested in some of his classes. On a day, when Nikiva spoke to a box again. Son, why are you not taking part in class and learning what they require of you? A boxing had a familiar look, but when Nikiva called place it a boxing inside. You learn like a spawn, and after you learn, you store it for later. No need to get excited to learn, for if it's the truth, you don't need to remember it, it will appear when you need it. When Nikiva scratched his head. Walk like who had. A boxing said. May my this blank until you ask me. When Nikiva said, tell me something. About the freaking history. A boxing, with a straight face, drew David Modup, who was the first person in the world to hold up the insane freaking ancestry. In his book, The First Americans Were Africans, Dermot Pruitt wrote that history after examining the scientific and geological evidence. He determined that people of African descent were in America before the Vikings, what a less about. Columbus. He said that all humans originated from the continent of Africa. History of Van Serdima's book, They Came Before Columbus, examines navigation, shipbuilding, and cultural analogies between Native Americans and Africans. The transportation of plants, animals, and textiles between the continents, and the explorers' theories, journals, and oral accounts support the claim of an African presence in the New World centuries before Christopher Columbus arrived. In his books, he discussed the launching of the great ships of Malian and she systematised with 200 master boats and 200 supply boats, the expedition of the Maniakinyan and she systematised and when Nikiva smelled, I am convinced. Yes, when Nikiva walked away, he tried to think of how boxing reminded him of. He smelled and said aloud, Yell. Turning to a box again, he sighed. Do you know of Yell? A boxing sighed, never heard the name. What did he do? When Nikiva smelled, no, he's not in history purse, has someone no both haven't seen in a long time, you remind me of him. Well, he was talking to a boxing. A little called Nikiva. Nikiva asked the boxing if he wanted to go, and he both took a trip to the Research and Development Center. A little tells to Nikiva about some problems is a boxing in works of and views systematics, is PS sustainable andarat, if use salasazet indicates. Sustainable andarat and amst zet in hulet sedist amst sust amst cement zet in sabat zet in sust hulet sust cement arat sedist. Y'all decide, is an L. Bote boxing kept telling. Hulet sedist arat sust cement sust hulet sabat zet in amst 0 hulet cement arat hulet 0, instead of the 3 digits, you will come closer, and 10 years later. The internuber will fix this problem that a small fractional part means a lot. Can we check your calculations for the residence and capabilities? Oh, the block that one in Nikiva. Is he? What? Yes, the word. You're savant or clairvoyant? Or something like that. Waniniku smelled, has smarter than the average bear. Oldib squirted his head, well, ill treated in seeing believing, ill get back to you. You are not the first person who has fucked me. Logging at Waninikivu. 9 years had passed, and the territory tripled, almost quadrupled, in size. Queen had her last child, a boy, Waniniku, named Twidimala. Many people had married and were having children. Titu who loved this space, Jam and Kinji, who lived in El Paso, Texas, were in Latent, Juvenland, and told to rest in peace for 2 years before being plagued in Babylon. Kinji had the gift of self-healing and was plagued with Daniel's regiment, and Jam had the gift of speed and was plagued with Greg's regiment. Jam married a beautiful woman named Inman, Kinji married Katrinka, Ob married Anista, she helped raise the Krish, and they had plenty of children. Ilse married a Kunsit, Ilja married Tama, Nolasa married Lily, and Grace. Married a man named Simeon. Moti married a man by the name of Nixon. Friedrich married a one of great wisdom like himself, named Achin, and some years later, Daniel married Naimo. Waninikivu and his family had incorporated the Hines as a family emblem. They became part of the infantry in their typical species in the area. Y'all welcome with the mess pates and yours, some loved in the world. Training never ceased, in light time and flourished, fasting in prayer were running as the people loved in peace and harmony. Years passed, and on a night as Waninikivu was sleeping, he saw himself in the desert on top of Rincon's mountain to the east. Melissa appeared to him. Long time, my friend, said Waninikivu. Melissa smiled, time, you do not know of time. Both had the service beautiful and the ease of Sabbath. Waninikivu sighed, it now, but it's been a long time Tom, at least 25 years, Sabbath has blessed me with a beautiful family. He smiled as he continued, and has also blessed me with Yale's twin, my son, a boxing. Melissa looked at Waninikivu, it is true to boxing that Sabbath will bring his blessings and his promise, but he must send him away, along with Ntwidimla, to Lozin, for his promise will be fulfilled. Two will live, but only on. Will call me back. But don't fear. It is the will of Sabbath to fulfill his promise. Waninikivu turned to look at the viewing sentence but turned back round, if it is his will, it will be so. Turning to the skies, he saw that there is another clouds forming to the west of him. Melissa said to Waninikivu as he faded away. It is his will, however, the animals he brought back from Africa will never harm those who are in Latin but will tear to pieces those who are not. Your reinforcements from Sabbath. Send the elders and children home and prepare for war. Waninikivu looked at the skies, saw the clouds getting darker and darker, and said to himself, a storm is coming. He saw it looked like a man walking towards him, and he did at first, but the closer he got to Waninikivu, he grew bigger until the surrounding cloud grew darker, and thunder and lightning grew sooner and louder. A very muscular man walked towards. Haman slowly transforms into a hawk of a man, and his skin peels off, and blood drips and pours as he gets taller, turning into a hideous creature. He hears Mishika's voice saying, John saw it rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. It was like a leopard, with feet like the feet of a bear, and head a mouth like a lamb. Waninikivu then walks out of his sleep. Looking at the time, Waninikivu realized that he had only slept for less than minutes, slavely checking Queen, Betty, at time. On the stand next to him was a picture of his family that was taken recently. Look at my family, Sabbath has blessed me, and I don't know what will come of him. Looking up toward the ceiling. Bless them, Lord, as you bless me, forgive them like you forgave me and keep them in your will as you kept me. Taking the picture out of the frame, Jill and Inaya are now haya 8 years old, Pilas is now haya 6 years old, Kemazus haya hulet, Masud and Sebea or haya, Tenisur is asment, Minjay is asrabat, a boxing is asrarat and Dwidmal is asr. When he calls out, May Queen, he rubs the picture and repeats it, May Queen. Balkan, Ruben here is, say here's and call her name. Yes. When he whips the tears from his eyes. Baby, it's time. We must send all the elders and those under us rams to make Hamilton and all to warrens. Queen woke you up. War. Waninikivu shook his head. He just saw a vision, and as he said we have to send elders to Lausanne, but one of our sons will not return because Sabbath is out for him. Whether or not we see him again, he didn't say, and he didn't ask because he must do Sabbath's will. When Nick stood up and got dressed, poured himself a sort of liquorice, walked over to his desk, he took a seat and words towards flowed through different emotions that captivated him. He wrote, Lausanne. Not this seat again. Tossing and turning in my bed, with this gin dancing in me head. This mistake just left, take out haircut. What the hell is going on? Ach, Luston. Lausanne. Top capital of the infamous slave trade, the place where music comes from. Yes. Soul, gospel, white man blues came from us. Hey. Hell, the slave trades. The slave trade was from Africa, to the Caribbean, to Louisiana. Then back to Africa. An endless cycle, within a triangle. Tatus Louisiana is rich in culture. That's with the French, Native Americans, and modern-day Louisianans has so much in common. After the chows, we were left with Cajun and Creole down south, and Native Americans up north. Natchez and Choctaws. However, many left the south from Hatos for 100 years. Since Urias been here in this land, of the so-called fur. Moving up north in various places before, during, and after slavery. Now, the people up north want to kill us slow. Got back memezzetting and the catch. Says from the south, says from Louisiana. But now says in New York, Detroit, California. Ford, don't get me started. Jambalaya, Benes, Poba and much more. What, wait about gumbo? We're so famous for Ford, I bet we invented it whoopie combo. He lighted and tired for a minute, while looking down at his words, he wrote, upset. Upset. Done so much. Again, been so many plates. Seen so many facts don't have much. Tired wisdom he had, wasn't much. Wasn't good enough. The pain was everywhere ignored. Had no value. Fall is thinking. Saying. We take from those who don't have much. Take from those who have a criminal mind. Start to saying. Before understanding up in it my mind. Then he realized. He was depressed. Stressed. Upset. He wrote, the night before. This is a reminder for me to read. So, want for it. How he went read a lot of bullshit that was poured onto me, trying to reach a goal. Finding out who was friend, who I was for. Right now, you don't think, if I have any more. But when you read this 10, 20, 30 years from now, you will know. Searching, listening, the night before. The word has kept me this far, but it's still hard, feeling like Daniel in the lion's den. Wondering if God has forgiven me for all my sins. The night before. It seems as if people get mad, even sad, to see someone make it to the top. Reach a dream. It seems like they don't believe in hope, but how many do believe in dope? Isn't it all, the night before? If they can't see it, they say it's not there. They don't care. But you breathe the air. Is it there? You can't see the oxygen that you breathe, but it's there. You say it's different. You say it's the same. You don't believe in God, but He has opened my heart, my mind, my soul. The night before. All my life, it tried to do the right thing. Now, they say. There were times where he did the wrong, many times, he played many games. But he realized that it took hard work, if he worked this all out, blessings comes, and so he now goes. There you are meant with a people out there, that will try to make you give up hope. The night before. You have seen all this come to life, it ended up in a fight. He was first mad, then he became sad. Annoyance, played every part. Bottom calamity was in my heart. He woke up the day after, thinking about the night before. One evening he put his pen down, staring into space as he zipped on his drawing, thinking about the words he wrote. He stood up, finished dressing, and then he reached for his earpiece and shouted, "Emergency meeting, now,